Look at the corner of your room or your web browsing history. How many projects have you started with a burning passion, only to abandon them after just a few weeks? When you suddenly become obsessed with learning to code, then next month want to become an artisan baker, and then crave studying psychology, a very specific kind of shame creeps into your mind. Society has a pre-designed system of labels for people like you. They call you superficial, unfocused, or worse, lacking the discipline to specialize. You watch your peers move up, becoming industry experts and senior managers. Meanwhile, you feel like an imposter syndrome, unable to choose just one path to follow to the end. You use the idiom, "a jack of all trades is a master of none," to punish yourself every night. But do you know what? History has truncated that saying and society has lied to you. The full original quote is actually, "Jack of all trades, master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one." Knowing many trades but mastering none is often better than mastering just one. The truth is, your feeling of being scattered is not a flaw. Modern neuropsychology indicates that it is a symptom of a highly adaptable nervous system. You haven't failed at specializing. You are unconsciously building an incredibly rare cognitive structure, M-shaped thinking. To understand why your chaos is actually a high-level survival strategy, we must look at the biggest lie of the current educational and career systems. In the last century, the world operated as a kind learning environment. The rules were clearly established and never changed, much like the sport of golf. If you applied the 10,000-hour rule, digging a hole a mile deep, you would win. They rewarded T-shaped experts, those with only one skill planted deep into the ground. But the 21st century is not a golf course. It is a wicked environment. Rules change every day, AI threatens professions, and an economic collapse can wipe out an entire industry overnight. In such a wicked environment, narrow specialization is the most fatal weakness. When the industry shifts, the knowledge of those experts instantly becomes obsolete. Your brain is more sensitive than you think. It senses the uncertainty of the times. The fact that you're passionate about studying design today and tomorrow want to research neuroscience is not madness. It is a survival instinct, urging you to gather data from multiple different territories to prepare for an unpredictable world. Ordinary people use near transfer. They solve new problems by reusing old tools within the same field. But your brain, with its dozens of seemingly useless hobbies, has the ability to execute far transfer. This is the psychological mechanism that allows you to take a concept from a completely unrelated field and apply to revolution in another. Think about a software engineer who once spent time immersed in farming. In theory, planting crops has nothing to do with writing code. But farming experience helps him understand cycles, ecosystems, and organic regeneration. When returning to design a software system, he doesn't just write dry lines of code like a regular coder. He builds a self-sustaining digital ecosystem. That is the magic of the multi-talented. That is monumental innovation. Your core value never lies in the depth of a single piece of knowledge. Your value lies in the capacity for synthesis. You are the bridge between worlds that others don't even realize exist. While understanding that your dispersion is a higher intelligence brings relief, we must face a cruel truth. Why do you always feel exhausted? Why do you still feel like you are falling behind? It's because you are misunderstanding the geometry of your own potential. You are not a T-shaped person. You are an M-shaped person. A cognitive structure possessing multiple pillars of deep expertise, connected by the bridge of endless curiosity. But here is the deadly trap. You cannot build all the pillars of the M at the same time. If you try to learn data science, write a novel, study 3D design, and start a business all in the same month, you will collapse under the weight of your own ambition. Cognitive overload will consume you. True multi-passionate individuals, the ones who win in this life, do not do everything at once. They practice an art called sequential mastery. They view their lives in seasons. Perhaps you spend your early 20s immersed in art and music. By age 28, you put the guitar away and spend the next 5 years building a pillar in technology and business. You haven't given up on art. You have just finished the foundational building phase for it. Just like a certain 53-year-old man and who finally found peace by letting his design job serve as his financial pillar during the day, while nurturing his music and philosophy at night. He turned down flashy promotions, protected his spiritual energy, and allowed his different selves to live sequentially, rather than forcing them to trample each other to compete for attention. Finally, there is a profound scientific proof from evolutionary biology that will completely free you from guilt. This concept is called redundancy. In the human business world, redundancy is considered wasteful, but in nature, redundancy is the privilege of immortality. Do you know why giant elephants rarely get cancer? According to Peto's paradox, elephants possess a massive redundancy of tumor-suppressing genes in their DNA. They have multiple copies of the same protective gene segment. If one gene breaks, dozens of other backup genes immediately step in to replace it. Your seemingly messy hobbies and patchwork career turns are exactly that biological redundancy. If you are just someone skilled in a single area, when artificial intelligence AI strikes, your career will completely collapse. You have no way back. But if you are a content creator with an understanding of psychology, knowing a bit of programming, having visual design skills, and an understanding of music, you are an unbreakable structure. You have a massive safety net. No matter how the market crashes, you always have a backup gene to activate. You haven't wasted your time. All these years, you have been executing strategic adaptation to deal with the worst-case scenarios. So it's time for you to stop apologizing. Stop apologizing for not being able to walk a straight path like pre-programmed robots. That graveyard of unfinished hobbies is not a testament to failure. They are the semesters in a grand university that you designed yourself. You were not born to be a perfectly fitted piece for an outdated industrial machine. You were born carrying a multidimensional mind to see the connections that the blind world out there cannot see. Your fleeting interests are, in essence, a craving to fully taste every life experience this universe has to offer. If today you feel the burdens of being different have been lifted, if you recognize the M-shaped potential within you, leave a comment below. Tell me what seemingly nonsensical puzzle pieces from your past are silently creating your unique strength today. Leave a signal so we know that curious and free souls are never truly alone.